shows.
Keep quiet.
Oh.
Good
Good
Please
morning.
don't mind Mazino.
And welcome, lovely people.
Let's be serious.
Oh, I'm trying. Welcome. It is the special Tuesday edition for your favorite breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. Just beside me this morning is our energetic and beautiful Lady Mary.
Thank you so much. Yes, he's trying to whine me, but Mazino, you're absolutely right. And you know what else I love starting my day with?
What?
I actually love starting my day with the show. Wake Up Nigeria is amazing for me. So we start each day with our incredible team, and we do it with so much honor.
That's very right. Yeah, today we have prepared for you guys an extra special treat just for all of you out there. Thank you very much for tuning in on a Tuesday morning. The whole new level here, believe me, just got started. We've got infotainment, information, recipes, everything that you need for a Tuesday.
Absolutely. We know how hectic weekday mornings. I was going to say Wednesday mornings.
Watch it. It's a Tuesday.
We know how hectic weekday mornings can be, but we are here to make sure you start your day on exciting notes. Yes, Monday to Friday.
Absolutely.
And today will not be an exception. So grab your coffee cup or tea cups or juice cups, as the case may be, and get ready for a thrilling experience.
Unless you're Mary's baby and you're younger than 2. You'll be grabbing. All right, so this splendid world is about to take off. Premium breakfast show for you. Let's already let you guys know what to expect coming up for you guys. By the way, we have a very fantastic chef who's going to be giving us some fantastic recipes here today. Do remember now, you can follow us across all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. We also like it when you send in those messages using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Where can they see us?
Yeah, so there are ways you can see us, okay? You can watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world through our mobile app, which you can download from Google Play Store or iOS, all right? You can also watch us on GOTV channel 16 and on UHF band 49. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
Plenty of options.
Thank you very much. We implore you guys to please stay with us all the way up until the end of the show, which is about 2 hours or so from here. All right, so for what we got coming your way shortly, we shall be engaging you guys in some very interesting discussion. One with Joy Olusayo, a trained physiotherapist from the prestigious Bowen University, to discuss injection policy in children.
Definitely an interest for many, that one. Also joining us on parenting is Joy Abu, a certified broadcaster and certified child coach. She'll be joining us today to talk about dealing with mental health and depression in children.
And Usman Olarotimi Ogunlade is a Nollywood filmmaker who has been in film business for over a decade now. Now he's going to join us to share his wealth of experience in the film industry. Can't wait.
And for our music performance and final interview today, we have Toyosi, a recipient of many awards and also known for mind-blowing performances at different international concerts. We're looking forward to this one.
I like her already. All right, Army Hearties, let's unfurl ourselves and sail off into the whatever.
Yeah, he's actually having a day ahead because tomorrow is National Pirates Day.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Okay.
You sound very hearty.
Very hearty we heart.
Yeah.
And then welcome, lovely dress once again.
Thank you.
What rules are you going to be breaking today?
All rules.
Let me see. You're always breaking rules.
Definitely not traffic rules.
20,000 is no joke.
Who broke a traffic rule and paid 20,000? Who?
If you, I actually learned.
Well, actually, it
that
depends.
traffic light
It
is
depends. I think
20,000.
20.
Do you know what 20,000 can do?
One way is 150.
It's more than
150 now.
Yes.
I mean, that means the one I knew of was last year when certain people got some tickets.
So it's ridiculous the sort of bills or fees, actually, fees that are, now that have been recently added to, especially Lagos states, even with vehicle, renewal of vehicle registration numbers, all of that. There's been a lot of fee. I remember I used to pay, the last time I registered, I paid over, let's say, close to 30. Now it's more than 30 something because something else has been added. They call it POS something.
45,000. There's a lot now.
So it's a lot more now.
And you know the funny
Ridiculous.
thing? If we keep saying, oh, we use exchange rates in this country, we use exchange rates in this country. But when you do some exchanges, you would realize that you're actually spending more in this country.
It depends what rate you use.
And you ask yourself, how?
Right.
Whether you use black market or whether you, of course, black market and official, there isn't so much difference anymore ever since the devaluation and all.
Devaluation,
There's still
But
difference, though.
it's
Out
not,
there,
it's not
honestly,
huge.
there still is.
It's not huge. Not like
Oh,
before
you
that it
should
was
talk to Titi.
ridiculous. 400 to 7.
This is our in-house know-it-all when it comes to the exchange rate. She's always got it on her phone, always doing business and transacting in other currencies. This is very interesting, so we don't need to go anyplace else to actually find out exactly what the rates are.
Well, no
The
way
rates,
it-
what they're going to affect for me is this. I'm interested in upgrading my phone. Now, this is the first time ever I've never been interested in upgrading to the next iPhone. But the new iPhone is out, and it's got a C-type charger. And for me, that's exciting.
What's exciting about
Because
that?
But you know it's about
Because
the only
it's got,
person I
it's got
know
a
who is
C-type
really
charger.
excited.
Yes!
It got a C-type charger.
As in, the pirate thing is really entering you today.
But the C-type charger makes it a bit more closer to your
You know what?
Android.
I think it's lazy.
For them? Oh,
Yes.
absolutely, yes.
Very lazy.
Absolutely, I agree.
You guys could have just, you know, I don't know, maybe change the cover of the phone or something.
We
you
don't
know,
do that, sorry,
make
we
it
don't do
more
Maybe a
glossier or
triangular stuff,
exactly.
or some other cool
Look at
shape. Or
Samsung.
start, you know, shape it like an apple now.
I'll tell you why. They've reached the apex of innovation. There's nothing else to do but change that charging port.
Then
Thank you very
rest,
much.
Rest. Let them
the
rest.
lightning cord anytime. Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Now we begin from the nation's capital, where President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 18 special advisors and senior special assistants to actualize the agenda of the federal government across the different sectors of the economy. The team, comprising 6 special advisors and 12 senior special assistants, will work in the office of the vice president, supporting the renewed hope agenda of the Tinubu administration. The appointments in the Vice President's office are Rukaya El-Rufai, Special Advisor to the President on NEC and Climate Change, Tokwe Kolade Fasua as Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Aliyu Modibo Umar, Special Advisor, General Duties, Hakim Baba Ahmed, Special Advisor on Political Matters, and Jumoke Udwole, Special Advisor to the President on PEBEC and Investment. Others include Sadio Wanka, Special Advisor to the President on Power Infrastructure, Usman Mohammed, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Administration and Office Coordination, Kingsley Stanley Nkocha, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, amongst others. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu is also in New York, where he will be participating in the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The president was received by the Professor Tijani Mohammed Bande, Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tagar. While in the United States, President Tinubu is expected to hold several bilateral meetings on the sideline of the UN General Assembly and also further push his agenda to attract more foreign investments into Nigeria. The president will address the UN General Assembly on Tuesday, and he's also expected to meet with the New York Chambers of Commerce, where he will ring the closing bell of the New York Stock Exchange. Meanwhile, President on Monday held a very fruitful cross-sectoral discussion with his counterparts from South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, in New York. To foreign news now, 5 American citizens jailed for years in Iran are flying back to the U.S. as part of a prisoner swap mediated by Qatar. The 4 men and 1 woman, who also hold Iranian passports, have landed in Qatar after leaving the Iranian capital, Tehran. Their release was dependent on the transfer of $6 billion, which is about 4.8 billion pounds in Iranian funds, earned from selling oil to South Korea to banks in Doha. 5 Iranians imprisoned in the U.S. are also supposed to be freed as part of the swap. To have landed in Doha, Iran's Press TV says U.S. President Joe Biden has long been urged to bring home Americans widely seen as hostages used by Iran as bargaining chips. But leading U.S. Republicans and Iranian activists have condemned the swap, saying it will only encourage more hostage taking. And that's it on the news update for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. So much more to come. Just stay with us. All right.
Welcome
stay
once
safe.
again.
I like that.
It's time for What's Up and About. So while MM is putting on her many trinkets and rings, let me let you guys...
Did you offend this guy before?
All right, so we have a very interesting story, which was brought to our notice by a Lady Mary here. And it's very interesting, that story. It's one of a lady who just gave birth. She lives with her husband, and she has a neighbor of whom, well, very observant neighbor. And the neighbor tells the story about how she noticed that they had just had a baby. However, nobody came. No omugwo, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Omugwo.
No omugwo, no mother, no mother-in-law. Nobody came to say, hey, welcome new baby, or okay, let me help you take care of you and the baby until
As
maybe,
the usual.
as it's
not
usual
like
custom.
it's not in Nigeria. Or This happened.
This
in
happened
Nigeria.
in Nigeria. So upon noticing this, her mother, that's the observer now, says, okay, I'm going to go over and help her out. She does this for an entire month, bathes the baby, helps the mother with the pressing of the stomach like we do culturally here. After a month, she says, okay, that's enough. I'm going to stop now. The husband comes and says, Mama, you haven't come since. Mama says, well, she's okay now. She has learned how to bathe the baby, so I can now relax. Don't worry, I'll pop in once in a while. But you also have to note that I have work as well. So the husband, that's the father, the new father, goes out, gets, what do you call it?
Some gifts.
Some gifts, you know, edibles and stuff, and, you know.
Just
milk and
appreciate
all of
the
that.
woman.
In appreciation, brings it over. Thank you, Mama. Goes back home, and a fight ensues between him and his wife, who is the new mother. Now, he comes out very disturbed, and this Mama comes out and says, okay, why now? And he says to her, well, reluctantly, it's my wife. She's angry that I got you those things. The countenance of the new mother also changes toward the observer neighbor and her mother. She stops greasing them and everything. And the husband also noted that that was the reason why nobody came to see them, or nobody ever wants to see them, because she has such a bad attitude. Now, I have my reservations. I know why. I believe I know what the problem is, of course.
What do you think the problem is?
She's suffering from a mental illness. And she pushes away people. If you trace it, you will find out that somewhere in her childhood, she went through something that has traumatized her entire life and pushes people away, or just does not have that relationship with people at all. She is incapable of connecting with people, or
she's antisocial.
She's very antisocial. But as much as it's a very bad attitude, I still sympathize. Sympathize? I'll find out.
Anyone.
Empathize.
One of the two with her, because I know that something very, very adverse must have happened to her
growing up
in her childhood. That's what I think. If you're going to go all in, don't use my...
I agree with you. It's possible that there's something wrong, or it could just be postpartum depression.
See, before she got married, nobody likes how...
No, wait. Let's not look. Let's not... Right now, let us...
Focus on
the situation and the fact that she's a new mother. So it's possible that this could be postpartum depression. But then again, they say family is meant to protect you.
No matter what.
No matter what. The husband knew, even if she has been suffering mental illness from her childhood, it was the husband's responsibility at that point to protect his wife, regardless of whatever happens between them. Do you understand?
May the Lord not let... Continue.
It was
My
his
son had that kind of
yeah,
wife.
he should have protected her. Whatever the issue was, I don't think it was nice of him, or it was fair of him to have revealed to the other neighbor, because it shows a bit, it's insensitive. How would you expect her to feel? She made that sacrifice. So I don't think it was fair of him to reveal whatever was going on.
To
the neighbor. I'm talking about the neighbor now.
Okay.
It wasn't fair to reveal how the woman felt.
Like I said, it was reluctant. He didn't just
It did not frustrate to the family members. It's to neighbor that you want to pour your frustrations on.
The family members
gosh,
have
rest.
all run away.
Rest.
If your own family can't
There are
run
people
away
rolling
from
their eyes at you right now.
Rest.
Okay, but seriously, look, we can make excuses for her till the cows come home. But the reality is, there's a Yoruba saying, "Efiniwa," you can't hide it. Your attitude is like a smoke.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
It will eventually,
people will eventually see the fire.
Yeah.
They will experience it. for your family members not to come for Omugo. Like, it's, you know, it's a different thing if nobody wants to stay with you. But your sister or your mom or your mother-in-law...
What if she's an orphan?
To come clean you, you know, help you out with some things. For nobody to come. One. Two, the fact that somebody now took their time. Look, she's association of my husband and I. Maybe she thinks the woman was trying to get the husband to marry her daughter as second child, as second wife. What are you talking about?
That's overthinking.
Women like that, that's how far.
Mary.
No, but I agree with her.
See, women like her, that's how far they believe, don't come out. And then you mentioned the childhood thingy. The only thing that could have been such is either maybe she was born into wealth and her family lost all they had, or she was born into extreme poverty, so everything she has
she's holding it. It has to be hers.
That's the only thing I'm looking at this. Because if you don't have that kind of mentality of my own, my own, my own, why will you have a problem with someone showing gratitude to someone who helped you? Anything could have gone wrong. Do you know what it means for somebody to take out of their time? For the woman to now say she has to go back to work, exactly, is why she couldn't help. Meaning a lot of sacrifices she made, a lot of things she put at the side. You did not tell your husband, and your husband will say, why? Jebina, she won't help you. No, your husband used his own initiative to buy something for the woman, and you changed your attitude to someone who knew you intimately enough to even help you, back you, help you with your baby. Wahala day.
Yeah, but you know that if the husband did not reveal this to
which husband did not,
the neighbors,
maybe
so we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You know you didn't tell that
I tell a good story.
We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Let me tell you what happened.
So the husband is a snitch in this regard.
No, I see where you're coming from.
They went back to their house after he gave the woman the gifts. They went home. They were shouting, arguing. Neighbors heard what was happening.
They could have been arguing about anything.
So let me tell you.
They could have been arguing about anything.
They could have been arguing about something else.
Exactly.
It might not be, and I see where is coming from. That might not be the main crux of that argument.
Exactly.
It might have been something on the side.
Exactly.
Maybe one of the things he bought was pineapple she had been asking for.
And he did.
Now you're saying things.
That's the main thing,
issue. Exactly. Okay, so what if it is not the first time the guy is being exorbitant with his money or being, you know, generous? Let me use the word generous.
What kind of thing is this?
Wait now, what if it's not the first time? And she, maybe for some reasons, she's decided, they've had that conversation.
And let me help you out.
And which is what I'm trying to do. What if it's more of
I cannot believe that is making me a disciple.
You are my disciple.
But this is it. The truth is, what is saying is, perhaps just what if it was a case of why did you not inform me so that we could have done it too?
It could have been anything.
Why did you, for the man to do it without
Now, I will
permission.
say this. I have that problem. And my wife would often tell me that it is not just you. You have to represent us.
Communication.
Okay, you can't just go and say somebody
and just do
Let's
it.
do it as a family. So next time when they're coming, they will come to me, the wife, first, so I can discuss with you instead of just coming straight to you. There are kind of like, you know, regulations that I did not identify, but my wife saw. So I can see that. But still, if that is even a fraction of the reason why they started fighting, then there still is something.
We're not taking away from the fact that this woman, it's possible that she could have a bad character or bad behavior, or she has an attitude problem.
She doesn't need friends to come and talk to her. She needs psychiatric.
No, she needs to see a therapist.
Yes.
Because if she's going through some trauma issues from the past, it's possible. But let's not take away from the fact that I believe that the husband should have handled that situation better.
Mr. Husband, most times I would say, yes, you should have handled it better. But you see, in this situation, you did right. Because if you had not given that woman what you gave her, I'm sure your conscience would not be able to rest. Because you are not blind as a man. You saw the sacrifices that woman made. And you knew quite well that if you sat your wife down, it could not have happened. You know, new people are talking about, let's do it together. If he had sat her down and then gone ahead to still buy the woman's stuff, after the wife has said, don't buy it, there will be even bigger problems.
What I'm saying here is...
Hands off me.
What's your shout? What's your wish shout?
Please.
What?
In the name of
I
God.
think that he shouldn't have told the neighbor.
Look.
Try to manage it within
Which
yourself
not you think
and your wife.
You think the neighbors are
because
fools?
don't
they
forget
heard
that
the shouts now.
Yeah, regardless.
Which
People shout
regardless?
about anything. Why do I need a third party in this situation?
It depends on the kind of spouse you have. If you have the kind of spouse that asks,
may God give us
ladies and gentlemen,
a
thank you very much
spouse
for joining
that
if you have the kind of
for
spouse that
What's
would
Up and
tell
About.
somebody that went
We'll be
out of
right
their way
back.
to help
Goodbye now.
somebody else.
And you're welcome.
All right.
It's now time for us to do the dailies, and if you have joined us already from before, perhaps you know what this is all about. This is us telling you all the headlines from the dailies for today. And of course, I have Mary here with me. Together, we're going to be taking a look at these and also perhaps maybe giving a little 2 cents on each of these one by one.
Okay.
Mary, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Where are we starting from?
I'm
The
going
Punch
to be starting
newspaper?
from the Punch newspaper.
Please go ahead.
From the Punch newspaper, we've got the big headline here. FG-NLC meeting deadlocked. Workers insist on demands. Government workers must agree on concrete resolution within remaining days of ultimatum, says the NLC. And Minister appeals to labor unions to embrace dialogue, shun strike as deadline ends Friday. Mary, let me ask you. This is an age-long question, and we've always asked, what alternative do we have to strike actions? Are there any at all? Would this in any way help the situation, especially economic?
Better communication between the government and the unions will help prevent strikes. I've never really understood the sense behind multiple strike actions. I'm like, is it that the government isn't listening, or is it that the demands are outrageous? Why can't a middle ground be reached each time? Why can't there be a cushioning effect? Of course, the government cannot pander to everything the labor union says, but there are some things that are so ridiculously obvious that there's just no excusing it. Now, if you meet halfway and the other person, the other unit says, oh, we're sorry, we can't do this, that's a different ball game. But in a situation like this, for goodness sake, people are talking about even sacrifices by the lawmakers. You can't be earning so much, and the people are barely, managing to put food on their table. It's unfortunate.
Well,
how can a bag of rice be more than minimum wage?
But more dialogue, I also espouse to that. There are photo stories here of the Area 1 shopping complex in Abuja. If you've ever lived in Abuja, this is going to be very, very sensitive.
This was very surprising.
Because I yelled out when I saw this. Demolition of illegal structures at Area 1 shopping complex in Abuja on Monday. This was yesterday, and this was erected by the minister, that's Wike, who ordered that these structures be destroyed. Area 1 shopping complexes, that's where all the kilishi that I bring from Abuja comes from, by the way. This has gone down, and it's causing plenty of, discussion regarding the minister's actions. Now, drama as Obaseki locks out embattled deputy from Government House, and tension as 8 killed in Ogun community called clashes. Obasanjo insists on stand-up order to monarchs. I hope we get this in another paper so we can talk about it, but what newspaper do you have?
All right, I have the Daily Independent here, and it says CBN default on Forex backlog undermines investor confidence. And here also we have Tinubu appoints 18 aides to serve in Vice President Shetima's office. We also have this one. I stand by my position on Oyo Monarchs. And that's coming from former President Obasanjo,
Now, what did you think
who has
about
disowned his purported wife who begged for forgiveness.
What did you think about that action? Asking the monarchs to...
Why are you putting me on the spot regarding that?
Because we had a conversation about it just from before, and it was very interesting, your response.
Yeah, I did say I wasn't going to say anything about it.
Well, I'm edging you on to.
I'd rather not.
Okay, then. Like I said from before, I thought that there's a place for procedure, there's also a place for culture, especially where culture is deeply etched into a community or a society. You should consider these cultures and also respect them. That's all I will say about that.
All right, so moving on, federal government must refrain from harassing, detaining opposition Atiku ones. Edo deputy governor was not locked out of office. That's coming from the governor's aide. Tribunal dismisses APC petition against Governor Lawal of Zamfara. Federal government develops policy on patient safety, care quality. UNGA, Tinubu engages South African president in economic bilateral talks. Down here, we see federal government considers cancelling multiple designations for foreign airlines. I'm not sure about that one. Federal government brings labor leaders back to negotiating table. Stakeholders yet to agree to avert planned indefinite strike. Up here, we see 20 dead as rival cult groups clash in Ogun. And finally, NNPC orders did not remit $8.265 billion to Federation accounts in 2021. That's coming from NEITI, and that's a big one.
All right, let's move on now to the Nation newspaper, where we have other headlines, some of which are on the other papers we've seen today. FIRS recovers 4 trillion naira tax liabilities from NNPCL, and Obasanjo justifies public rebuke of traditional rulers. You can find it on page 6. It's a very interesting read, actually. Petrol importers, power firms behind anti-Akpabio plot, and 5 senators, 26 reps sacked by tribunal. For the center here, police kill 8, arrest 9 in Shagamu cult clash, and also, big one, Atiku Obi appeals raise a concern over Supreme Court cases. Panel of 7 will deplete number of justices to 4. And let's see what else we have on the Nation newspaper. At the very bottom, Shaibu's drama at Government House deepens. Row with Obaseki and Aguro likely to become Lagos HOS. Federal government, NLC talk to continue. I think these are most of the headlines that we've seen in other papers. We still have one paper to go. I think we still have a bit of time for the Guardian, don't we?
No, we do not.
Oh.
Okay, let me quickly rush through it. We've got the Guardian here, and it says Nigeria's bear 1 trillion naira metering burden as CBN World Bank backpedal. Here we see increases in meter prices between 2013 and 2023. I like these graphs that the Guardian newspaper does because it's very explicit. If you're not sure where it started, you at least know where it is now because many people are still buying meters. Economy, insecurity, others top Senate concerns as 2024 budget plans begin. UNGA, Tinubu addresses world leaders today on illicit financial flows, assets return. Husband narrates how fake doctor harvested late wife's kidney. 25th killed, 7 arrested in Shagamu cult war. Quite a number of stuff going on here. So many stories you can catch in the dailies today. Any one of them that catches your fancy. Go ahead.
Well, thank you very much for sticking with us for the papers. What are we about to do now? Where are we going?
We're going to the kitchen.
Yes.
We need to know what's happening for breakfast.
We can't wait. Let's find out. Emin, what's going on?
Yeah.
We are definitely making something quite interesting here in the kitchen this morning. And with me is Chef Tiflo.
Good
How
morning.
are you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Great.
To see you.
Good to see you. This morning, she'll be making chicken and potatoes masala. Sounds interesting. I told you guys, right? Tiflo, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the ingredients and the process for the recipe.
For chicken masala, we make use of potato.
What kind of potatoes?
Irish potato.
Great.
Milk, ketchup. This is the masala. It's not normal curry masala that we use. This is made from Indian.
Yeah, that's the Indian masala. Good.
Yes. So this is the chicken breast.
Okay.
This is all-purpose flour, real chili, soy sauce. This is cheese.
Cheese.
Butter, salt, and oil.
Okay, that seems like a very
This
healthy
also the
recipe.
vinegar.
Vinegar. And this is, what's the role of vinegar in this recipe?
Yes.
What's the role? What is it meant to do?
Combine all the recipe and
All
the
the
herb together.
ingredients. Okay, great. This seems quite like a healthy recipe. I mean, because like you have potatoes, even though they're quite relatively high in carbs, but then we have a lot of proteins here. So if you're on a fit fam journey, let's say this is one recipe that you should definitely have in your meal plan. But if you miss out on the ingredients, it's right there on your screen: chicken potato masala or potato chicken masala. Okay, so let's get right to it. What exactly are we starting with? I see that our potatoes have been cut already.
Potato.
Okay, so when we're done frying the potatoes, what's next?
I start frying the chicken.
Okay,
Stir fry.
okay,
Not normal fry, just like stir fry the chicken.
okay,
Add the vinegar, the ketchup, the red chili,
Okay.
salt. You know that the salt is the best
You know what? Let's just get right to it because we need to see, you know, what the process is. So let's put this on. If you're just joining us, guys, with me is Chef T Flo, and she's making potato and chicken masala. So what we're trying to do right now is put on the cooker, and so we're starting with our Irish potatoes. We're going to fry them, and I see that they've been cut pretty nicely into wedges, very nice wedges. And now let's talk about the cheese in this recipe. Where does the cheese go in?
That means the white is like your white sauce.
Okay.
The sauce, instead of you mixing it together, you just make your white soup.
Okay.
Like normal soup in Nigeria is called. So we use chili
Okay,
for the white
cheese
sauce.
for the white sauce. Okay, it seems like a lot is going to be going on, right? Okay, okay. Let's get right into it. So now we're heating up our pan. Let's see if that's hot enough. Okay, let's sort of increase the heat so that, you know, we could get, okay, I think it would be nice, it would be better for us to use this pan. Okay, guys, our potatoes are coming right up in a bit. Seems like quite a lot happening here. I mean, having like your white sauce, we are having our chicken stir fry, we're having our potatoes, but I'm guessing all of them, all of them's going to come together at the end of the okay, great. And now let's talk about our masala. How accessible is this spice?
Spice is not really easy to get.
It's not, right?
It's not really.
Yeah.
I think went to ShopRite to get it. I
Went to a mall, none of the
So
popular.
at last we went to Spa at Ilupeju to get it.
Yeah, so I guess you can get it from one of those, you know, popular, renowned spas, malls rather, and so you get your masala. So you don't have to travel all the way to India to get it. You can easily just get it. But are you saying that we can't use curry masala?
No.
Okay, it has to be the masala itself. So you have to
Because this
go find
masala
white.
is made of mango,
Okay.
finem, coriander, salt, black salt. So all those things.
So
is
it
not
has like some really special
spices.
ingredients in it. Great. Okay, so now that I think it's time for us to begin frying. If you're just joining us, people, with me in the kitchen is Chef T Flo, guys. And she's taking us all the way to India. I know. Have we ever had an Indian recipe here in the kitchen before? I don't know. I don't think so. But hey, if you missed out on it, if this recipe is is getting your attention, if you're spoiled by it, it's right there on your screen. The ingredients are right there. The ingredients are easily accessible, though, other than the masala. But hey, I mean, if you really want to make this recipe, I don't think there's any length you will go to get the masala spice, because I think that's the star ingredient for this recipe. I'm super excited about it because I've never had potato chicken masala. Right? I'm gonna try that today, T Flo. But hey, we have to go on a quick break now. The show continues shortly. Stay with us.
You're welcome back. It's time for our health segment, and today we will be engaging Joy Olusayo. She's a trained physiotherapist from the prestigious Bowen University to discuss injection palsy in children. I've never heard this before, so I'm going to be asking the experts. So, Joy, thank you for coming over.
Thank you for having me.
Grand. What is injection palsy?
Okay, so I'll start with injection palsy. Palsy meaning paralysis, weakness. So injection palsy is a trauma to the sciatic nerve. Okay, the sciatic nerve is a nerve that
thought
runs...
about it. I wouldn't know what the sciatic nerve
Of course.
is, so tell us what that is.
Sciatic nerve is a nerve that runs from the buttocks. So I'll use that word, from the buttocks down to the leg.
Okay.
So an injury to the sciatic nerve results from injection, resulting from a direct trauma to the nerve, or an irritation from the injection and from the drug administered.
Oh, wait, hang on a second. So
Okay.
the sciatic nerve runs from the buttocks down
To the leg.
to the leg.
Yeah.
Now, if it's injured, how does it manifest in the body?
First off, we have pain.
Pain,
From the buttocks down
all
to
the
the
way,
leg.
constant
Yes.
pain,
Yes.
and
It's
you
just
feel this
that
pain
just
as you
feel-
walk, as you sit.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah,
always there.
Always there.
And this is from trauma, perhaps maybe from badly administered
Injection, yeah.
or
The
the
wrong-
drug itself.
Yes. An
Like, what
irritation.
kind of drugs could cause?
I mean, any drug that is administer through injection to the particular site.
Okay.
So
Could I
that's
also
it.
get this sciatic nerve damaged if I engage in activity like maybe exercising
Right.
wrongly?
No, no, you can get it from trauma.
Trauma.
Anything can happen
Okay.
to the nerve, but usually is a direct trauma to the nerve.
The nerve. Okay, so is it curable? Is it possible to cure it and have 100% recovery?
Yeah, it is.
What must one do?
It is. So we start with what the person is presenting with. So they come down with pain, swelling at the injection site. Usually we see them with foot drop. Foot drop meaning inability to control the forefoot.
Really?
Yes. So they come down with that. So as a physiotherapist, what we do first is to educate our patients on the condition, telling them, okay, this was what happened, and telling them why it is very important to be consistent with treatment.
What does treatment entail?
Okay, so we start with pain management. So we treat the pain first. We have different modalities that we use to treat the pain. Then we prescribe exercises. Exercises like one leg stands. I don't
On
know
the same
if-
leg that's aching me?
Yeah, that's how we treat the pain first.
The pain first?
Yes.
Okay.
So at that point where the pain is treated, at least for the period of the exercise, this numbness, so it's okay. So that's what we do first.
And then after that, what
After that, we prescribe exercises like one leg stance, squatting, stepper exercise, wobble body exercises to the patients.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the average length of time to full recovery?
Wow, I won't give an actual percent.
But people
of
have gotten better in
Better,
3 months
yeah.
to 1 year.
No.
Does
one
it
year
take
is-
longer?
No.
It's shorter than that.
Yes, shorter. So as long as the patient presents on time, so early presentation at the hospital is very important.
Okay.
So when we start treatment on time, then the recovery
What
is
if it
faster.
lets to linger? Is that
Well,
dangerous?
well, a lot of things might have set in at that point. We can have atrophy meaning, but how would I say that? Let's say
Lack of use of
lack of use of the muscle,
leads
of course.
inflation.
So there's reduced muscle mass
Yeah.
at that particular muscle. So we have to start building the muscle. We have to start training the muscle, strengthening the muscle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's like after trying to, that's like an entire process which you could have done without.
without, yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the use of massages? Does that help as well?
Well, not exactly,
Ah!
because
You know why I'm asking if they are scammed you, Doris? Because I have a friend who actually
Okay.
had a problem with her sciatic nerve,
Okay.
but she resorted to massaging, and this doctor said he was going to massage her, and sorry, Doris.
know, yeah.
Massaging was not the way, but
physiotherapy is more than
he
just
enjoyed it, obviously. But so massaging is not the best.
not the best, actually. So because physiotherapy is not just about massage. So the major thing that will actually help the patients is the exercises, the muscle strengthening, and also that's actually it. Then if they present with foot drop, that inability to hold the forefoot, we prescribe an orthosis, which helps to support the leg
Okay.
in the right, putting the leg in the right position
Okay.
to aid proper gait pattern. Because I mean, when you can't properly hold your leg in the particular position,
affects the way you walk.
Yes, it affects the
gait.
way. Yes, it affects that. So we also go through gait training to help them at least come back to the normal
So
gait
now that
pattern.
we know the first course of action, second course of action, which is treatment, what are the extremes? In a worst case scenario, if you have a sciatic nerve damage and linger on the treatment and don't take care of it, what is the worst case scenario that could happen to that person?
Worst case scenario, having an abnormal gait pattern.
Okay.
Yeah, having an abnormal gait pattern, presenting with other deformities. Yeah.
Would you continue to have pain all the while?
Yeah, if there is no proper treatment.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. So what must I do to avert this? Is it that I have to be, or what I mean, I have to take injections when I'm ill. So
Yes.
what way around this?
But I think people should go to a standard hospital first off. Because,
Standard hospitals?
Yeah, standard hospital first off to take injections. Don't just go to anybody because you feel the person can give injection. Just go to them. So go to standard hospital to take injections. So that's
Joy, thank you very much for coming. What institution are you from again?
Federal Medical Center.
Federal Medical Center.
Ebute Lagos, yeah.
Okay, well, now you know where to find Joy. Thank you very much, Joy. It's been
Thank
a
you for
pleasure
having me.
you here, giving us all that interesting information that we need to know about injection.
Pause, yeah.
Thank you very much. Trained physiotherapist in the house, Joy.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for joining us. Do stay tuned. We've got more inside of Wake Up Nigeria. The kitchen is a buzz and everything, but we'll get back to that in just about a bit. Stay tuned. And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. Yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Tiflo, and she's making chicken and potato masala. I know the word masala is an Indian word. It's actually an Indian recipe, right? And she's infusing that into our chicken and potatoes here to bring us such a yum-sum breakfast. And I'm pretty excited about it. You can tell, right? Great. Now, Tiflo, let's run through the ingredients and tell us where you are at right now. Let's run through them.
I'm frying the potato.
Okay.
So I'm making the
Irish
chicken.
potatoes.
I'm making the chicken sauce.
Yes. So, Tiflo had already started working on the chicken sauce, and I had to tell her, hey, slow down. We need to get into the flow. See what I do there? Okay. So now let's talk about the chicken. So we're using chicken breasts, and what's happening over there?
Chicken, oil, the chicken, the vinegar, the
Soy
masala, salt, chili, red chili, and the ketchup.
Yes, and I see you also added a bit of soy sauce
Yes.
to it. Okay. So is that almost ready?
It's almost ready.
Okay, I like that. Looks really good. So once that's done already, what do we do with it?
I'm going to make the white.
Sauce. Okay, I'm pretty excited about the white sauce because I love white sauce, right? Because like you basically have it on anything, but it's not common. It's not a common one.
Yes.
Okay, it's your special white sauce recipe.
Yes.
Okay, I can't wait to see how you're gonna make that. I'm always excited about trying out new things when it comes to food. Yeah, I know. If you miss out on the ingredients, guys, it's right there on your screen. So we have our Irish potatoes, which are cooking already. We are frying them up because we cut them into wedges. And yes, so that's frying up. We have our vegetable oil, chicken breasts. We have our red chili, soy sauce, and yeah, and our masala. Yes, we have our vinegar. And then for our white sauce, we have our cheese, butter. So go ahead and tell us what we are using for the white sauce.
For the white sauce, I'll be using oil,
Okay.
the cheese, the butter,
Okay.
the all-purpose flour,
Okay.
red chili,
Salt.
and salt.
Okay.
And
What about
last-
the milk?
And the milk.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Then are we still going to use any?
No, I'm
Okay.
just using it to garnish the potato after serving.
Okay, so I need you guys to please take notes. We are not making use of curry masala. I know that is very easily accessible. You can find it anywhere, but we're not making use of the curry masala. Now we're making use of the original Indian masala. You have to really, really take your time
to look for it if you really, really need it, which of course is very important. It's the star ingredient for this recipe. And we have our potatoes.
And I forgot, the masala is made with the added dry mango.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes, dry mango.
Dried mango. Okay,
Yes.
so it has a certain sweetness.
Yes.
Yeah, to it. Great. And for our vinegar, I don't. Is our vinegar? It's very important.
Yes, it's very, very important.
To use
Yes,
the vinegar,
especially
okay. Especially
in
for
the
the
sauce,
chicken.
yes.
Right. So chicken and vinegar and soy sauce sort of work well together because what the vinegar does basically is just to activate those flavors. You know, it like gives it a kick. It's like the catalyst to, you know, getting the best, you know, from the flavors.
Yes.
Yeah, from the taste from your.
So the chicken is
so
ready.
now that that's ready.
The chicken is ready.
Okay. So we're gonna put that together.
Yes.
Put out that side, and okay. So let's get a pan for the white sauce. And for our white sauce, we're gonna run through it. Of course, we're not doing this without you. We are ensuring that you are a part of everything that's happening here in the kitchen this morning. We want you to be part of our cooking experience every single time, and we need you. So yeah, we have to go on a quick break now while we're getting things ready here for our white sauce. We'll be right back. It's the top of the hour. We need you to please stay with us. We'll be right back shortly.
Welcome back. It is Wake Up Nigeria. Now, every single hour we spend gets more refreshing than the previous one. You better believe this. We are never tired of serving you guys food. Sorry, serving you guys great entertainment.
You will say that because you almost went for chips.
They stopped.
MM removed her shoes before Mazino could stop going to the kitchen for chips. Well, whatever the case may be, though, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. It's good to know you're right there. Welcome to the second hour, your ultimate TV breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Good morning, everybody. Yes.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing? Are you feeling all okay?
We're glad to be back for another hour. So let's keep accelerating every single pace here and bring you guys the best show that you can ever imagine for a Tuesday morning, packed with programming that you guys never thought. Now that's actually a given. Our goal is to make your morning brighter and better, whether you're getting ready for work or maybe you're enjoying a slow morning start, maybe you're putting the kids together for school or anything. Hey, the next 45 minutes is made especially for you.
Yes, plus we've got some surprises lined up for you, from special celebrity to live performances, from talented artists. You can expect the unexpected, really.
What's happening inside the kitchen, MM? Because you did not let me check. So
Why should you check?
Why should you check? I don't understand.
I wanted to taste the chips.
Why? What are you checking for?
I love chips.
The chips are in good condition. We don't need you to come and contaminate it. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yes, we still have Tea Flow here, and yeah, she's about to make our white sauce, right? It's also called bechamel sauce.
No?
Okay, there's bechamel sauce and there's white sauce. Oh, okay, well, the chefs will know better because they are the experts, right? Okay, so yeah, she's about to make our white sauce, and I'm helping out with the cheese, you know. Unfortunately, we don't have the queen of cheese here. So, you know.
So I'm very interested in that recipe. Not cheese, in the recipe. Okay, so I'm going to have a conversation with the chef right after to get the list.
My name is Mazino Appeal.
And of course, my name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
Thank you guys for following us at TVC Connect and all our social media handles. We appreciate it, and thank you for seeing us live on GOTV channel 16, and of course UHF 49 if you choose so. And you can carry us with you if you have the app on your phone. All you need to do is download it. We are available on iOS or Google Play Store. Now,
show up. Always use the hashtag though, Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, and remember to follow us across all social media platforms at TVC Connect. Now to tell you,
need to tally up with me.
What's he on about? Well, let me tell you what we have in store for you this hour. Joining us on parenting is Joy Abu, a certified broadcaster and certified child coach who has a passion and love for children. Today's conversation is dealing with mental health and depression in children.
Ogunlade Usman Olarotimi is a Nollywood filmmaker who has been in film business over a decade now. Now, he joins us to share his wealth of experience in the film industry.
And for our musical performance and final interview, we have Toyosi, a recipient of many awards and also known for mind-blowing performances. We'll be having a conversation with her in a little bit.
Thanks for staying with us. It's time for our parenting discussion. And this morning, joining us is Joy Abo. She's a certified broadcaster and child coach. She has a passion for and love for kids. And today we will be talking about dealing with mental health and depression in kids. You're welcome to
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Mental health and depression in kids. That's a very, very interesting one, I'd say. Because we have been so, we believe that mental health only affects adults.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see that, you know, it actually also affects kids. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. How do you know, or how can you identify that a child has a mental health problem?
Okay, firstly, we are coming to the realization that mental health is really affecting kids, and it comes along with anxiety. And it's unfortunate that we've failed to realize that it's something that can be treated. Now, how do you observe kids? When you notice a kid who was suddenly very excited and all of that is withdrawn, then something is actually wrong somewhere. And then when you have kids that have this bipolar disorder, they tend to be paranoid always. So when you have kids who are over-paranoid, don't take it like it's one of those things.
Okay, help us break down over paranoid, or paranoia as the case may be, because we're in, well, I wouldn't say it's peculiar to us here in this climate, but generally, when kids throw tantrum, we think, oh, they're just, you know, it's just them being kids. And now you're saying to me that it could be a mental health condition.
It's way beyond that.
Okay, please.
Now, this is it. When you have a toddler who is crying and throwing tantrums, you feel like, okay, it's because that's a toddler.
Yeah.
But then when it grows and develops with it, it's because that it gets higher. In fact, some go as far as scattering everywhere. At that point, you need to have a conversation and start looking deeper. That could be a case of mental bipolar disorder. And it's sad to say that depression and mental health is hereditary. Parents who have suffered depression through their lives tend to have kids who will be depressed at a very early stage. Wow. And we have between 7% of 13 to 17-year-old kids that suffer these things without parents knowing, statistically, without parents knowing, yes. And the percentage is really getting higher to 9.4. So it's really alarming. And we are not observing because we feel it's a normal thing. And you see a child who is withdrawn due to the crisis around the area and all of that. The environmental issues can lead this child to depression. So when a child is over-paranoid, or when a child suddenly starts overeating, yes, surprisingly, yes. When you have a child who is overeating, something is eating that child up, and they have that conversation with that child. And then anxiety sets in from school.
Now let's talk about the sort of discussions that you begin to have with these children. Because in this regard, I feel that it's gone beyond parenting. It's also, everybody has a role to play, you know, in dealing with this condition. So now let's talk to us about the first step to take after observing that this is a condition that needs to be dealt with. What's the first step to take as a parent or as a teacher or as a guardian?
The first thing is ask the child what is actually the problem. Why is this child reacting towards this direction? Why the sudden change? Let them express themselves without you judging them. Allow them talk to that point. Whatever they tell you at that point, let them have that confidence to talk to you about it. So it's a conversation of how are you? What is happening? Why are you this way? You know, and then you're doing that in love. At that point, that's the very first thing you start with. From there, it will help you know whether it's something you can deal within the home front or you need an expert to come in and talk to that child. But firstly, make them feel comfortable around you with asking simple questions. How are you? Then you go as far as making them happy. Ask them, what makes you happy at this point?
Yeah, but you know, now I'm listening to you, and I know very much that for a lot of families, communication is a problem, especially between the parents and the children. So first off, if when communication is a problem, you can't even communicate to your parents, I'm talking of the child now, that this is what I am going through. So how are you even able to bridge that gap? Or how are you even able to, bridge that gap between, you know, with the communication gap there is already a gap. How do you bridge it
You know,
to get across to that child?
I'm always an advocate for conversation. And I keep telling parents, no matter how busy you are, don't run away from having a conversation with your kids. And, you know, we are in an era where kids don't want to talk to their parents because parents are going to judge them. So I used to tell parents, don't be judgmental. Whatever your kid tell you, don't be judgmental about it. So that they don't run to another person who will say, okay, don't worry, you know what, I'm here. So learn to have an open heart towards your kids. And when you discover that there's that lack of communication, first, you don't just jump into it. You start by buying their trust. And how do you do that? Play games.
Okay.
Talk other things. From there, one discussion leads to another. You don't just start asking sensitive questions from the blues. You start with how are you, how was school, and then that you build that communication. And it gets to that point where that child says, okay, now I can now talk to my parents, I can now tell them. And I used to tell parents, make sure you're your kid's best friend. They should be you should be their #1 fan. Whatever they are doing, whether they are getting it right or wrong, in place of where you're provoking and correcting them, do it with love. That's the way you can buy their trust. Because trust me, depression, and you know, kids that are depressed don't tend to talk to their parents.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to say something that you would snap back at them. And so they are trying to avoid talking to you, and it's eating them, and they don't know where to go to. So that's why I used to say conversation and communication is key.
Now that you've talked about the first step, what is the second
Now,
step?
the next step is you tend to ask them, okay, fine, now we've discovered this is it. If it's something you can deal within the home front, you deal with it. If it's not, talk to the child. I'm going to bring in an expert. I will take you to so-so person. This person will guide you through. And while you're doing that, make them understand that you're not doing it because they have a problem. You're doing it because you want the best for them. You're doing it because you want to see them a better person. So you're doing it in love. You're not doing it with anger of, okay, no. Let them realize that it's a problem, but not a big problem. To them, it's something that can be solved.
Now let's narrow it down to the people that we bring in to deal with this situation, because it's very easy to make it a religious matter.
Yes.
You're going to your pastor. My child is possessed. Evil spirits. You know, we parents are quick to, you know, be Africans in that thinking. Who are the people that we should seek, you know, to deal with?
That's why we have counselors in schools. And I used to say every school should have a counselor. First, talk to your school counselor. Talk to them, ask them, this child is having this challenge. This is what we need to do. And then they'll lead you through. And then you talk to experts. That's why we are here. That's why it's our job. That's why we are here.
And that's why you're on the Wake Up Nigeria show, highlighting this topic. Thank you so much, Joy, for this conversation. It's been very, very, very insightful.
Thank
and
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We'll have to go on a quick break. Now the show continues shortly. Stay with us.
Now you're welcome back, and it's time to meet one of our very interesting guests that we talked to you about from the beginning. Ogunlade Usman Olarotimi. Does he sound familiar? Well, that's because he's got quite the rap sheet when it comes to the Nigerian film industry, Nollywood to be exact. Now, he's been in the film business for over a decade, in fact, 15 years, I think now. And he joins us to share his wealth of experience in the film industry, and you are welcome.
Good morning. Thank you
You
for
are known as a big filmmaker in Nigeria. There's so much talk about you, and we also have some clips that we're going to be showing about your work. But first, let's talk about Nigerian film industry, from when you met it to here now. I've got many questions in between, but what would you say is the biggest defining factor when we talk about the difference between 15 years ago filmmaking in Nigeria and what we have now?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me. So, number one, I would give it to our senior colleagues who have been making films before people like us joined. They were able to, at some point in the film industry, they were able to take the bull by the horn, and they went for the bigger projects. People like Kulia Folayan, people Abudu and the like. So they felt like, okay, we can't be playing low. We have to play big. Even though at the time, and at the time it was not easy. It was at the time when no investors in filmmaking. People go to banks to get loans and all of that. So I'll give it to people like that. There are so many that they try to go all out when it was when there was dead end in the film industry.
Would you say that was the defining factor that actually put us on the world map? would you say that them taking that risk and pushing out, say, no need for investors, I'm going to do this all by myself? Do you think that that was the defining factor that differentiated maybe movies from 20 years ago to movies right now?
Yes, I would say it's one of the major defining factor because it is not easy to just go all out and say, okay, this is how I want to do it, and besides same result. It's more like they are like the two-face of film, the two-face and his what's it called? His colleagues of then of film industry.
Oh, and I got what you mean, the two-face of I guess you know.
Because they fought what the new musicians are enjoying now.
Yeah.
They fought for it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they fought for what people like us are enjoying now. Then another angle to it is the emergence of some other platforms. Like what's it called? The international streaming services and all of that. The emergence of those ones really helped us, such that you can now take your films to streaming platforms and make money of it. Then your films can show everywhere in the world, as against just showing in Nigeria and maybe some part of Africa.
Okay, so there's this big emergence of film villages happening in Nigeria. You've utilized one or two of them before, have you?
Yes.
Now, my question is, if we had like a big investment from the government in these film villages, would we have a difference in the culture that we have today?
Sure.
In the film industry?
Sure.
And do we have anybody who's thinking about that on a government level, thinking, okay, let's...
There was a time, I don't know for a fact, there was a time that I heard the federal government they're planning a film village somewhere in Abuja and all of that. And you know, I don't just want to talk about it because ever since then it's been news.
Just been hearsay.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? You've been in the business for 15 years. Are you considering perhaps maybe Kulia Folanya has his, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, Cap Film Village.
Are you considering having yours as well, perhaps?
Yes.
Because I think it's the next big thing, quite frankly.
Yes.
Where you can simply just rent out this entire space. It's like acres, and have you put up your own, what's it called, and everything, and then let's just have that. Do you call it ambience or that scene?
That scenery.
Scenery.
Yeah.
So perhaps.
So there are so many things in the works. So we are looking at filmmaking from another dimension. Hence why people like us, we started a film festival.
Okay.
I started a film festival last year, which is called Ibadan International Film Festival.
Ibadan International Film Festival.
So this festival brings film from the world down to Africa, then show the world the kind of what we do in Africa, because it's an international film festival. As we speak, we have a whole lot of films from across the world, from over 117 countries. That's the submitted films, and the jury have done the job and all of that. That is a step towards going into another phase where we are looking at film academy, then we are looking at a big film village. Do you get?
Yeah.
So it's one step at a time. Even Kunle Akfalayan, shout out to Kunle Akfalayan, that Crab Film Village now did not just wake up and it was a process.
Yeah.
Golden Pictures and all of that and all of that till now.
True.
So we are on the journey too.
Yeah. Okay.
We are getting there.
So about the film festival, when is it going to hold?
It's holding this Thursday till Saturday. That's 21st of September to 23rd of September at the Bunker.
Ibadan.
Yeah, at the Bunker Ring Road in Ibadan.
Nice.
Film master classes. Okay. We have people like Kayode Kasumu coming to take directing for film. We have people like Izuji to come to take acting for films. Like that, Uche Nwari, Ife Barbara. People like that, they will come. There's a session for the biggest film in town now. Jagun Jagun.
Jagun Jagun.
So people like the art director of Jagun Jagun, then Akim Effect, who happened to be SFX, the guy that handled the special effect. And if you have watched Jagun Jagun, that guy that handled all the stunts is coming around to tell us,
So there's very many little units of film making that are going to be
that will happen.
at
Yes. Then we're bringing a veteran film by late Moses Olaya, that's Babasala.
Okay.
We want to show the world, this is how we make films then. The film, Mushobalaton is the title of the film, and the film showed, it was made like in 1981.
Okay.
Imagine a film that was shot in 1981 compared to how we shoot film now.
Yeah.
Let's watch it. What are the differences? How do they act then?
Can I ask? Now, there's been a rise in, since you mentioned Jagun Jagun, and I was going to come to this, the epic film making style. And we've seen people trying to do that since, I'm going to use an example. What year now? Or what movie should I say? Igodo.
Okay.
So people are now trying to go epic.
Yes.
And that's a new
Trend.
Is a new trend.
Yeah.
How big can we go? And I say that in comparison to what is being done outside of Nigeria. When you compare epic filmmaking, like, let me bring it closer home. Let's say The Woman King, for instance.
Okay.
Can we get that good? And how long will it take us, if not already?
Sorry, I will ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
5 years ago, do you think we can do something as big as Anikulapo and Jagunjagun?
I think it would have taken us 5 years from then. I think we started 5 years ago and we got here.
Thank you. Now, we are doing something as great as Anikulapo, Jagunjagun, and the likes. That means in another 5 years, we will not be where Jagunjagun is and Anikulapo is now. We're going to be bigger than that. That means we're getting very close.
But what is missing? What are we still working on?
So I think we're working on human capacity. Like, we need to start looking for, that's why our festival is trying to train people. We need to start looking for how to train our manpowers in the film industry. And we need more investors. Then we need the government to come in totally into the film business and sit down with us and say, okay, guys, how are we going to do this thing? Such that? Look at what is happening in India. Indian government, they are all totally
Behind Bollywood.
And that's why Bollywood till now is I cannot say it's fast growing. It's there.
It's there.
They don't. If you watch Bollywood, they don't make their films to impress anybody, any other set of people in the world. They want to impress. Then you will now rush and go and get it and watch. They're not running after Hollywood. They're not running after other woods. But they are just Bollywood, and they love it like that. And the government is supporting them over. That is why you will see that their culture, the way they dress, their music and everything is represented in the films. So if the government can come into the film industry fully, not like by 10%, 5% that we're doing.
So if the government comes in and backs the film industry,
Yeah.
we already have an apparatus, which is streaming services.
Yeah.
Would that suffer in any way, shape,
It won't.
Are you sure the streaming services are not taking advantage of our very hard-earned content and movies?
So,
are they ripping us off? Be honest.
maybe not. We will never know. Until when we do the right thing. When we do it right, when the government comes in and everything, we will not realize maybe they've been ripping us up. But as we are now, they are really, really helping. They're making our films go across the sea. Our films can be shown in Iran, can be shown in Canada, everywhere.
Exposure.
5 years, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That was happening.
Rotimi, this has been very, very interesting. I've actually absolutely enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to, well, if I can make it to the Ibadan Film Festival.
I would love to have you.
Well, hey,
trust me, if you promise that you're going to come, everything covered.
I have your number. No problem. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you for sticking around to have this discussion with Rotimi. We'll be back with very interesting performance for you. Let's take a very short break. When we get back, it's going to be To Your Seat.
I'll let you into my life. You give me love all the time. I'll be your baby and you'll be my hero. I found love. I found peace.
That was giving some Natasha Bedingfield flavors. I heard it.
Like
Beautiful.
you can hear a lot of things, but not Nigerian. That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, we have Toyosi right here in the studio with us. For the final interview on the show this morning.
Yeah.
She's a recipient of many awards and also known for mind-blowing performances. And that's at different international concerts.
Yeah, and she also has one coming up
Yeah.
this weekend. How are you doing, Toyosi?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good morning. That was a beautiful performance you did earlier on. Loved it. Talk to us about that performance quickly.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it, as you can see, showing the glory of God.
Yeah, I
in my
mean the
life.
song.
So Watch Me. Title of the song is Watch Me.
Okay.
And it basically talks about the glory and grace of God in my life. So this is me telling you all to like watch me to see God's glory in my life, basically.
Nice.
So what is Toyosi's real name, though?
Oluwatoyosi Kuforiji, that's my real name.
Oluwatoyosi Kuforiji. So how did you come to Toyosi?
Toyosi.
I'm asking because I know Buju, now Benson,
Yeah.
Okay.
used to be To Your Ears.
Oh.
When I searched Toyosi, the Google search just switched it to your ears. I was like, no,
Oh, wow.
Toyosi. And then
Okay.
I found you, and I'm like, why did you decide to choose that?
What inspired the spelling?
yes.
You know, so Toyosi was actually birthed from the book of Matthew,
Okay.
which talks about Jesus walking on water. So I am walking on water. So that's Toyosi. It talks about Jesus walking on water. Yes.
See,
And it actually rhymes with her
depth to it,
name.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's Toyosi and there's Toyosi.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. Talk to us about, I mean, the gospel music industry is not where it used to be 2 years ago or even 5 years ago. It keeps evolving and with, you know, coming up with new gospel ministers that are just taking it to another level. Talk to us about your experience with it so far and how you're dealing with the competition in that space.
Well, I wouldn't say we have competition in the gospel industry or ministry. I call it collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're gospel artists or gospel ministers. So there's unity, there's love, and there's collaboration.
Okay.
You know, so like you said, the gospel music is evolving. You know, so I mean we keep moving as it evolves. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you know what we're going to do now?
No.
We're going to take a quick look at another of your music videos.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because you have so many exciting ones.
Yeah, she
It's
does.
obvious she invests a lot in
my
music videos.
music, yeah.
So let's take a look at this, and when we get back, the conversation continues with To Your Sea.
Lift your hands and worship Him. Raise your voice and give Him praise. Adonai, you reign on high. Komasio, there is no one else like you. Komasio, there is no one else like you. I lift my hands.
You are so talented. It's not a
is.
surprise that one of your songs was actually nominated for Best Worship Song at the American Gospel Music Awards. Tell us about that.
Adonai, that's the video we just saw,
Yes.
was nominated at the American Gospel Music Award. I was super excited about it, you know, when I got, we didn't get the award, but hey, it was nominated and I was happy about it. So we're working on more songs, you know, by God's grace, so that we can release more songs and be a blessing to people through music. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we should talk about the concert.
Yeah, let's talk about the Joyful Praise concert that's coming up this weekend. It takes a lot to actually put together a concert.
Yeah.
So, baby girl, talk to us.
So Joyful Praise.
Amen.
Yeah, Joyful Praise was birthed in 2020 during the pandemic when we all were just worshiping and praising God from our homes, you know. So I just thought, I mean, we all just can't keep doing that, you know. The Holy Spirit just inspired me to go into the world, you know, be a blessing to people through music. And then that was how Joyful Praise was birthed. And it's happening this Sunday by the grace of God.
Okay.
We've had 6 online editions, 6 virtual editions featuring different ministers of the gospel. But this Sunday, we're having Joyful Praise at Charis Event Center. And I will not be ministering by myself, not just me.
And you have other
Yes, I have other
ministers
ministers coming in, like Dari Justified, Neon Adejo, Ife Nathan.
So, I mean, now that you mentioned some of this, you know, the lineup of people that you have, I remember a few months ago, there was a controversy around ministers ministering in churches.
Okay.
Right, and there was controversy about where did some of them minister for free, some of them paid huge sums of money to perform. So tell us, how much are you being paid to perform? You know, in the church or you know the concerts, because it was a very big issue.
Yes, I think I saw it. We don't charge churches. So I wouldn't say that you must pay me a particular amount of money for myself and my team to come to your church, but definitely you must appreciate the talent, you must appreciate the gift, you know, because we put in a whole lot of work financially, spiritually, mentally, a whole lot of work. You know, we have rehearsals, and then we have professional musicians that work with us, and this is what they do for a living. Yes, I'm even talking about musicians, the instrumentalists, you know, and then we have backup singers, and this is what they do for a living, you know. So,
no, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, so these people work with us, and we have to pay them. I wouldn't tell my musician, God bless you.
I say I would tell you, God bless you.
You know, I actually find what you just said very interesting. I like how you said, oh, we don't charge churches.
But you should appreciate
us. But you should appreciate us.
Right.
Okay, so that brings us to the media space. For years now, artists and OAPs have always had challenges of the so-called envelope, you know, like appreciate.
Yes.
Now, you would hear an OAP say, I don't charge. And then you now hear the artist say, appreciate. What's your thoughts on that? Because if you do not charge your church, but you expect the church to appreciate your talent, shouldn't that apply to every other place you also get blessings from? Like when people give you a platform and all of that?
Well, so are you saying that if I go to a church, for example, and let's say, because I do not charge churches, there's no price tag, right? So how is the church supposed to know that they should be a blessing financially? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, if you have done your homework well, that is, you know, putting your songs out there, promotion and all of that, I don't think any church or pastor would just
But the church is not a money-making venture.
It's not.
Yeah, so when you say the church should appreciate you, it also puts financial pressure.
It's a win-win. So why do you have me in your church? If you do not want me to be a blessing.
But
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm a blessing. So in return, what happens?
Are you raising money by ministry?
I'm not raising money by ministry, but I put a lot of work into my talent.
Into your craft.
Yes, into my craft. If you do not, if I have not done my musical promotion, if I'm not here, for example, a lot of people would not know about me or know Joyful Praise is coming up on Sunday. So. And, you know, we put a lot of work into all of these things. So I wouldn't just come to your church. It's a win-win because I will post that flyer. You know, I'm coming to your church. I definitely have followers.
Leveraging on one another.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. I see that. Now, let's talk about, I mean, there's also been conversations about, you know, so for example, you're having your concert. Yeah. Maybe one of your other artists who's on the lineup of people that you're having is having a concert. Do you do this for free for each other? So
it depends on relationship. Most of the time, we already have that. We've established that relationship where, you know, we call ourselves brothers and sisters, for example. And so you're like, oh, Toyosi, I'm going to support you. You know, don't worry about it. Don't give me money. I'm just coming to support a sister. I'm coming to support a friend, you know, a colleague or whatever. So most of the time, it could be support. I have a lot of friends I support. You know, I have to be in your church or your concert or a birthday shout-out. It's support.
Does the appreciation extend to that? Because, of course, for the person to support and then it turns out to be really successful, maybe because the person is a big figure in the gospel music industry. Does it mean that when the person is leaving, you show some level of...
Oh, yes, you have to honor the person. I mean, you could give the person a gift, you could give the person a plug, you could give the person a hamper, you know, something to show that
you appreciate
the fact that I have access to you doesn't mean I should take you for
granted. Yes.
You
I like that.
So, yeah, so I'm having my friend on my show, on my concert, on my platform. I definitely have to appreciate you, you know, so I'm definitely going to give you something after the event.
Let's talk about collaborations.
Yes.
I mean, you've gotten nominated for, you know, an American award show. What collaborations are you looking forward to collaborating with any international gospel artists? Even here in Nigeria, who are you looking to collaborate with?
In Nigeria at the moment, maybe Dunsi Oyekon.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm a huge follower and lover of his ministry.
Have you met Dunsi?
Yes, I have.
Okay, have you guys started talking about...
No, we haven't, but I'm working towards it for next year.
Yeah.
For international, I really love Tasha Cobbs.
Ooh, I mean, you guys even...
I know, but I mean, she has lost a lot of weight now, so we really don't look...
I don't think there's any difference. You guys,
but I really love her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I know,
so I'm looking forward to... I love Mali music as well.
Nice.
Beautiful, nice.
Okay. Well, at this point, we have to check out another of your music videos, okay? You know why? Because we have breakfast for you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
love food.
Too. Okay, so let's take a look at this.
Can't be confined. Your love is always one of a kind. I had a room on the Heartbreak Hotel till your love came through and it opened the cell.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well done.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome to the kitchen, Toyosi. This is Chef T Flo, and well, Mazino.
I'm Mazino.
And Chef T Flo has made for you this morning chicken and potatoes masala.
Whoosh.
Right.
Good food.
We're
Yes.
taking you to India, baby.
Okay.
So please enjoy.
Okay.
Dig in.
Right here is very nice. If you're good people, you'll invite me to
You
have
just pick
some.
it from the middle.
Why?
Check out the sauce.
Yeah, so
too.
yeah,
Check the
because we
sauce
needed
and
to.
chicken.
Especially the chicken. Yes, that's the way to go. You sabi?
No.
Ah.
With the potato.
We're actually wanted to have
potato.
the
He
wants you to
full
sing it
experience.
in.
Chef Tifo, calm down. Man. You guys watch, are you seeing?
She's about to. Yes.
Okay.
How does it
So,
taste?
see, that is all yours. But if you like, you can invite me.
I'm sorry, I can't.
What now? I'll tell you. See,
Mazino
how
cannot
good you
help
look today.
himself.
Oh, At this point, we have to thank you for watching Wake Up Nigeria this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to all our guests. Thanks to Chef Tiflo. He's going to be sharing the recipe with me, of course.
Thanks to Toyosi.
Thanks to Toyosi for coming on the show.
Great music.
Thanks to all our guests. Thanks to the crew. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.